Thanks for tuning in to Arirang News. I'm Devin Whiting in Seoul. Just north of the capital, in Ilsan, Korea's various regions are showing off their economic growth models at the annual Korea Regional Hope Expo. President Park Geun-hye spoke at the opening, where she highlighted the nation's key policy drives for future-oriented growth. Song Ji-sun shares with us the president's remarks.
If you want to know which region is fostering which industry in Korea, the Korea Regional Hope Expo, which kicked off on Wednesday, is the place to be. The regions exhibited their best practices, products, and blueprints for the future, centered around their strategic industries. And with the nation's 17 innovation centers now up and running, a massive job fair will also be held across the country in tandem with the expo.
올해의 전시 주제는 지역 발전의 패러다임을 사칙 연산으로 압축해서 보여주고 있습니다. 청년들의 간절한 염원인 일자리는 더하고 지역 경제의 발전을 가로막는 규제는 빼고 각 지역에 활력을 불어넣는 창조 경제는 곱하고 지역 주민들의 삶의 질을 높이는 희망은 나누는 것입니다.
Seeking greater synergy between the administration's two key policy drives, the creative economy and cultural prosperity, President Park also encouraged provincial governors to create cultural content tailored to their regions to further boost the local economy.
우리나라는 세계 어느 나라에 내놓아도 뒤지지 않는 유구한 역사와 독특하고 훌륭한 문화유산을 보유하고 있습니다. 이러한 각 지역의 문화 자산의 스토리를 가미하고 ICT를 결합해서 혁신적 사업 모델을 개발하면 무한한 부가가치를 창출하고 좋은 일자리를 많이 만들 수가 있습니다.
President Park said that having a creative strategy customized to each region is the way to survive and take a leading position in the fourth industrial revolution, and that innovation, deregulation, and restructuring are the keys to success. Song Ji-sun, Arirang News.
Meanwhile, at the National Assembly, the ruling Saenuri Party is standing its ground, insisting the only way it'll end its boycott of parliamentary business is if the Assembly Speaker, Chung Se-gyun, resigns. Our Ji Myung-gil has more.
The ruling Saenuri Party was adamant on Wednesday that it will continue to boycott parliamentary business.
Unless the Assembly Speaker resigns, we will not rejoin the parliamentary audit.
During a general meeting, all lawmakers of the Conservative Party decided to continue boycotting the audit, despite Saenuri Chair Lee Jung-hyun's request to other party members to rejoin the parliamentary audit. Ruling party lawmakers also decided to take turns in staging a hunger strike that the Saenuri Chair is undergoing since Monday. The ruling party accuses Assembly Speaker Chung Se-gyun of abandoning his political neutrality by helping the opposition parties pass a dismissal motion for President Park Geun-hye's nomination of Kim Jae-soo as Agriculture Minister last week. Kim has been under fire for alleged ethical lapses, including questionable real estate transactions. The opposition parties regretted how Saenuri Party lawmakers chose to not follow their own chair's decision.
It is a great disappointment, as we were expecting to see the ruling party participate in the audit session. We urge them to rejoin the audit. The Minju Party of Korea wants to work.
The minor opposition People's Party echoed Minju Party's stance and urged Saenuri's chair to stop the hunger strike in order to normalize parliamentary affairs. Ji Myung-gil, Arirang News.
Korea's anti-corruption law, known locally as the Kim Young-nan Act, went into effect today. The law's strict limits on gift-giving in certain sectors like government and media have got a lot of businesses, big and small, worried about losing customers. But there's hope that ultimately less corruption in the economy will lead to more growth. Shin Se-min has this story.
It's the most extensive anti-corruption measure ever imposed by the government. Commonly known as the Kim Young-nan Act, the improper solicitation and graft law targets some 4 million government officials, teachers, journalists, and their spouses. The law is commonly known by its 3, 5, 10 price cap. If caught being treated to a meal over 30,000 won, gifts over 50,000, and cash gifts for weddings and funerals over 100,000 won, those subject to the law will face criminal penalties. It's the first lunch break with the anti-graft law in place, and already around these government offices, a number of public officials are either opting for a cheaper option for lunch or deciding to go Dutch. With such heavy punishments in place, some are concerned about the consequences, but many also welcome the move.
People will be more at ease, and I hope to see the law put its roots down so things are easier and established by the time my grandchildren start going to school.
It was something we had to eradicate from society, but I really hope the economic burden on restaurants and the service sector isn't too great.
That same burden is also of concern to many others. Korea Economic Research Institute estimates that the local economy will face losses of some $10.6 billion. And Korea Rural Economy Institute says the agriculture and fisheries industries may see sales tumble by over $820 million each year. But economists say when you look at the bigger picture,
if Korea's corruption perceptions index nears the OECD average, the country will see an annual 0.2 percentage point improvement in economic growth.
Currently, that index for Korea is at 56 points, while the OECD average at 67.2. And as the law takes effect, hopes are high that the first aggressive step towards uprooting bribery and corruption will eventually help create a more transparent society with more robust economic potential. Shin Se-min, Arirang News.
A senior U.S. official says Washington plans to deploy the THAAD missile defense system to South Korea as soon as possible. Speaking at a congressional hearing on Tuesday, U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for East Asia Daniel Russel said it was crucial to upgrade defensive systems given the pace of North Korea's missile tests. On a related note, U.S. Defense Secretary Ash Carter has warned North Korea that any use of nuclear weapons will be met with an overwhelming and effective response. Carter made the remark during a visit this week to an Air Force base in North Dakota, which maintains an arsenal of nuclear missiles. His comments are seen as a reaffirmation of Washington's nuclear umbrella commitment to South Korea. A North Korean student who fled to the South Korean Consulate General in Hong Kong in July has reportedly arrived in Seoul after an 88-day hideout. Citing diplomatic sources, Hong Kong's FactWire news agency reported Wednesday the 18-year-old male student who was seeking political asylum left the Hong Kong consulate late last week and then entered the South. The student had been part of the North's official delegation to an international math competition at a Hong Kong university. He reportedly sought asylum at the South Korean consulate 5 days after the math competition ended. South Korea and Hong Kong have not released information on the student's whereabouts. Those are some of the stories we're following right now. Thanks for watching. More to come on News Center in 2 hours' time. Bye for now.